Hi, I'm Janet and we're here at Crug Glâs. Sandra, who helps me a lot. We both enjoy cooking and we enjoy also having conversations with our guests and so forth after dinners, and sometimes they put in a little request as to how things are done and how things are presented, and the use of local produce. How can we incorporate them into fairly standard recipes just to make them that little bit extra special. So today we've decided to do a cheese soufflé. For this we normally use a Carvai cheddar cheese, which is produced down in St David's. I think you know the Evanses very well.
Yes, we do.
And we're going to just go through it slowly, step by step, and hopefully at the end of the day we'll have soufflés that will have risen and will be nice to eat.
Right, Janet, what do we need? What tools and ingredients do you need?
Right. Well, there's the most important ingredient, that's the cheese. So if that can be grated, it doesn't have to be fine because it just melts into the sauce anyway. So but what we need to start off with is like a bechamel sauce, and we'll start with just milk. And
any milk, or does that have to be skimmed?
No, definitely not skimmed. You don't have to worry about fat in this when we're using all of the butter and the cheese and so forth. This is a bit of indulgence, something that you don't eat every day. So we start with the milk. We'll start with half an onion, just pop that in there, a good pinch of peppercorns or crushed pepper, it doesn't matter because you're straining it at the end of the day, and a few bay leaves. So once that's cooking away, and you can grate the cheese, and then
do you want?
I think that'll be plenty because we'll be having a little bit left over. That's about 5 to 6 ounces there. So I'll put this on the agate to start boiling away. Right, whilst that's boiling, I think we'll go for 4 eggs. Separate them because the yolks will be going into the sauce later and the whites will be fluffed up to give hopefully the soufflé a good rise. Yeah, you have the egg whites.
Oh, lovely, thank you.
Thank you.
So Janet, is that enough for you?
I think so. Yes. Do you want to hold it over your head?
No, thank you.
There we are. Yeah, that's brilliant, brilliant. That milk, onions and all the rest of it should be infused enough now. So strain it. And the smell of the onions, the bay leaves and pepper and everything is absolutely delicious. This is what gives you the flavour, the base of these soufflés. Right, now that we've strained all that through, looks great, flavours and smells fabulous. You can either add Dijon. I'm going to add a little bit of English mustard because I like the little bit of heat it gives to this as well. And now we shall add the flour. So let this come to the boil.
Is that plain flour, Janet, or something?
Yes, no, plain flour, and make it almost like, it's like a roux, but it'll become very thick, and that's when you add the egg whites to loosen it all up again, and then the egg yolks go in right at the very end.
Why do soufflés tend to go flat then? What's the reason for that? Why do they?
Well, it's usually the egg yolks, or if you put too much cheese in, it's too heavy. It doesn't give it. It won't lift. So it's better to be a little bit sparing on the cheese in the sauce, and then sprinkle the cheese when you do the twice cooked soufflé. Put that little bit extra on top of them then, so you have the intensity of the flavour on top of the soufflé, so it makes it a little bit more enjoyable to eat. Wooden spoon. And in with the flour. Right, after having added the flour, it's a nice thick mixture now. So we're going to add the egg yolks and the cheese to this. The egg yolks, and we'll add, a good handful or 2 handfuls of that cheese. And that's enough, otherwise you'll have problems with it rising. Now we're adding the egg whites to this, and this you don't want to do because you want to keep as much air through these as you can. So I'm going to use a metal spoon instead of a wooden spoon for this to really fold it in. Now that we've incorporated all the egg white through this, now is your time to just check it for seasoning, because you want it a little bit on the salty side, but not too salty. Yep, that's nicely balanced. I like silicone because it's the best for a non-stick finish, and it's well buttered as well. So a good spoonful into each of these, and in the tray, I always cook them in a tray, add a little drop of water to the tray, just to have that little bit of steam coming off whilst they're cooking in the hot oven.
What temperature now should the oven be for this?
About 180. And don't be impatient and check it too soon, because as soon as the cold air goes in, down they go. So you have to be a little bit patient. I've been patient enough. I'm going to just have a quick peep. Hopefully they've risen nicely. Fingers crossed.
So how long were they in there for, Janet?
Approximately 20 minutes. So let's have a look.
Ooh.
Yep. They look lovely. Right. Just to make sure that they do come out intact, just loosen them up very slightly, because if you put enough butter in, they should be fine. Yes, they look lovely. So we'll just try now to get this all to come out very nicely.
So we're using a greaseproof paper, is it?
Yeah, it's a little bit of cooking parchment. There we are. Brilliant.
Ooh, wow.
Very happy with that. Now it's up to you as to when you use these. You could put these in the fridge and leave them overnight, and then tomorrow when your guests arrive for dinner, bring them back out 20 minutes before you're ready to serve them. Bring them back up a little bit to room temperature. Put your cheese on top, but we shall do all this in a little bit for you to see anyway, and then serve straight away. They need to be served immediately then. We'll use a little bit of this cheese again now, and just put a little bit on each one of them. And then I'm just going to put the tiniest amount.
What's that, the cream?
The cream, and this keeps them nice and moist on top again, because they're twice cooked. As I say, you don't want them drying out. You want this to be lovely, soft to eat. So whilst we put these back in now for 5 minutes, we'll just do a little bit of a green leaf, micro leaf salad, just for colour. And we'll put a bruschetta or two with this as well, so you've got the crunch and you've got the creaminess of this, and the green of the salad should look really nice coming out. I'm using micro salad. We're very lucky again, this is locally produced, grown within 3 miles of us. And what you want as well is to elevate the soufflé in the dish as well, so that it stands out nicely. This again is very simple to make. It is just a little olive oil. I would say equal quantities of olive oil, of white wine vinegar, honey and lemon juice. And then we put in a good teaspoonful of mustard, the seeded mustard. And it just gives a fabulous flavour, mellow, sweet, it's just lovely. Okay, well, I'm really pleased with these. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but they have risen quite nicely again. Wow. So that is so simple and a really lovely starter.
Beautiful.
All right.
Really nice. Smells gorgeous.
Are we going to try it?
Yeah, let's tuck it.
Delicious. Here we are. This is the finished dish. It's very simple. Didn't take us long to do whatsoever. Stress-free, and for a delicious starter that won't take you more than 10 minutes to put in front of your guests.